Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So this is Albert Gil and my colleague Diana Calico from Barcelona, Valle Roche Architects. Well, it's an honor to be here in front of this spectacular jury and in front of the rest of the finalists, which are amazing. We are glad to present T3 Diagonal Office Building. It's a building located in Barcelona. And we focus here to develop the challenge of decarbonizing architecture. We all know that we must reduce our CO2 footprint of our buildings to mitigate greenhouse emissions, and to be effective, we know that we have to challenge the material production since it represents more than the half of the CO2 footprint. In every project, in our office, in Valle Roche, we define strategies to minimize this impact, and in this one, we focused in three concepts together with our client. First one is transit, second one is timber, and third one is technology. When we say transit, of course, it relates where the building is placed, but also it relates how our buildings make people move within them and within the surrounding. And our project sits in Barcelona, in the 22 district, a hub of innovation in the Cerda Eixample grid, okay, that you all know. It's a district of innovation and sustainability. In a street which is called Cristóbal de Moura, which is a street very well connected with strongly public transportation, which has become an exceptional pedestrian-friendly street, promoting biodiversity and water recycling. It's a real oasis in the heart of the city, where all Barcelonians, they want to go nowadays. On a plot facing this green axis, we were asked to design not just an office building, but also student residence. And instead of following the urban plan that was to develop just a single volume, we determined that it was better to divide in three different volumes to achieve a more human scale and to increase the permeability between Cristóbal de Moura Street and the inner courtyard of this area. This layout, placing the office building on the corner, as you see the picture, connects this green corridor with the central spaces of the block, while integrates Barcelona's traditional chamfers. The result is a urban complex of a more domestic scale, articulated with three different, let's say, colors or gradients, creating warm and a natural office building that blends with the surrounding landscape. The ground floor of the building opens across Cristóbal de Moura with a welcoming porch supported by sculptural timber columns. And inside, the lobby connects both sides of the block, forming a transparent and comfortable interior urban passage. The combination of these warm materials, vegetation, and a clean spatial design generates spaces of well-being that welcomes all users of the building.
We decided to use timber as much as possible to reduce CO2 emissions. All structural elements were built with locally sourced radiata pine, a fast-growing species from Spanish forest, supporting local management and sustainability. The layout of the type floor plan was very influenced by the chamfer. We placed the core on the facade facing to the students' residence passage, leaving free the rest of the facades and generating a whole open space flooded with natural light. The structure system was optimized with CLT slabs only 20 centimeters thick. Even the core, usually concrete, was made in wood. The complex geometry of the floor plan has been ordered by a set of parallel axes that rule the structure. This 100% wood approach reduced the weight of the building, therefore the foundation dimension. And not just slabs and columns, the core elements were also developed in wood. By attaching the core to the facade, we improved natural lighting in staircases and bathrooms and created a calm, unified interior. Triangular timber columns were designed to absorb horizontal forces, No concrete or steel required. The structural requirement generated one of the singular architectural features of this proposal. We took care of all structural details, since they were going to be the interior finishes. The structure was prefabricated and assembled quickly on site. A calm, quiet, and efficient process with no concrete or steel needed. The interiors are warm and open, with exposed timber structure. No ceilings, no extra finishes, just pure material honesty. This system allowed us to reduce CO2 emissions by 38% compared to conventional structure. But as mentioned before, we wanted to go further and develop a timber facade. After researching, we adopted yakisugi, a Japanese technique that burns the wood surface for durability and zero maintenance. And we loved to mix the traditional yakisugi solution together with the technical curtain wall. But not an aluminum curtain wall. We, of course, moved to a timber curtain wall. The facade itself acts as a carbon sink, storing CO2 throughout the building's lifetime, achieving warm, elegant interiors defined by two finishes, wood and black for the rest. By letting the structure define the space visually, we avoided unnecessary finishes, reducing material use and construction waste, while creating a coherent and serene environment, enhancing the sense of warmth and comfort, and showcasing the material's honesty. Ground floor timber elements were precisely detailed to stay off the ground, with a tailored base connecting them to the foundation. The whole process ended with a 65% reduction of the CO2 footprint.
And finally, technology. Using BIM allowed full coordination between all stakeholders. Structural and MEP elements were precisely digitally coordinated, including integrated holes in beams and facade panels, ensuring fast and accurate construction. Geometry coordination with the timber manufacturer was a real challenge, but the final result was super precise and clean. And precasted wood panels in the solid parts of the facade allowed also a faster building process. Our main goal was to achieve CO2 footprint, while always caring for users' well-being and seamless urban integration. The result is a small office that merged naturally with its green surrounding, that offers flexible and luminous interiors, allowing many different types of fit-out schemes, with stairs flooded with natural light and warm materiality, promoting healthy behavior, since everyone wants to use these stairs instead of the elevators. With a lot of care for the furniture details, generating a nice interior experience. T3 Diagonal unites urban life, timber craft, and digital precision to show that sustainability can be both rigorous and beautiful. Rooted in its place, it embraces human scale and natural materials to dissolve the boundary between building and landscape, merging city and nature. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the presentation. It's really interesting to see you focus so diligently on the issue of construction, the materials, the sustainability, and at the same time be able to sort of think about a bigger urbanistic context. My only one question is whether the client asks you to also think about the office as a phenomenon, because you're thinking about these situations materially, construction-wise. But obviously the nature of like what is the contemporary office is also gone through a lot of rethinking and changing, especially after COVID and things like that. What are your thoughts about the spatial characteristics of this building, or what
Yeah.
it could be as an office?
Yeah, no, yeah. In this case, we both, the client and ourselves, wanted to focus on this particular scenario about reducing footprint. Of course, we always want to offer as much possible solutions for office design, no? Especially in COVID, we learned that we want to be also that office can have strong connections with the outside, no? And for example, in this case, in the rooftop, there is a space you can enjoy this rooftop or the relation with the neighborhood and also, no? But in this case, you know, sometimes you want to do a very like shiny project, and in this case, we wanted to show that maybe a very conventional office building can be nice, correct, and you don't need like special facts, you know, to be very like a star building. So we would love that this type of office is like the common office in the next years. I think this is something important. Yes.
And you agree, right? Yes. Okay. Good. Peter.
Yeah, it's all good, isn't it? I mean, I think it's, you know, if you were in the 150 years ago and you discovered steel, and you'd be so excited and so wedded to what steel can do. If you were maybe 90 years ago, plate glass would have grabbed you and said, look at what plate glass can do. It can expand your vision, everything. And now we're in the wood moment. And each of these moments, in my interpretation, has had an evangelical period, followed by an expansive period, and then followed by a sort of pluralist situation in which it gets absorbed into the hopefully forward progress of architecture. So let's assume that you're in the evangelical moment. Could you intellectually step a state forward towards the expansive moment? In other words, what I'm really asking in simple terms is, what else can it do?
Thank you. Yeah, you know, if we were discussing about clothes today, it would be easy for me to explain what is in our table today. This was in our table 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and now it's like I'm explaining something I am not doing, because today we are more focused, not just on making. So I agree with you, this is kind of evangelical, let's make everything in wood, but now we know that this is maybe, it's okay, but we have to find like hybrid solutions, and this is what we're focusing now. So if using a small piece of steel, I can reduce the use of wood, it makes sense and it's intelligent to do it. So this is like the right thing to do. I don't agree exactly with you, Mr. Cook, about it's a point of the materiality. I think nowadays we are like in the period of sustainability. I don't like the word.
We have that rammed down our throats every day.
And I would like like when we look at the architecture we have done in this first quarter of the 2000, I think like I would like to see in the future is that there was a new language of architecture that was not because of a material, it was because our civilization changed his mind about what they were doing before. And I think when I look at the project we have seen today and so on, I think it's kind of that, yes.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, as an office project, also talking about well-being, I'm quite curious about internal working place conditions. Do you have any like natural ventilation system? Like I thought I saw the one picture with like little bit of window. So how this works?
No, in this project, so we used to make more office buildings with natural ventilation, and we love to do that. Not in this project. In this project, we don't have natural ventilation, but it's something that should be implemented here. We didn't implement it because at the end, we live in the real world, and we had to deal with the budget and so on, and we and the client wanted to focus on this Timber solution, and we could not make openable windows, which is the right thing to do. I agree with you.
Miranda, are you happy?
No, I think it's a really nice little building, and it'd be a great place to work, probably. You know?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's great.
You're welcome.
Thank you.